Hello everyone and welcome to another Nifty 50 Outlook video where we are going to discuss the geopolitics of Iran and how Nifty has staged a recovery in the past 1 week. It has been an important week in the market, and especially yesterday we were hoping that some resolution to the war would be happening between Iran and US, but unfortunately we have not got any scenario like that. And especially if you go through the words of Mr. JD Vance, he had stated that they were demanding a commitment of will from Iran, and they were expecting that Iran would give up their nuclear aspirations. But if you go through the words of the Iranian media and the Iranian officials, they are clearly stating that they are coy about the situation and they have no intentions of accepting the peace deal. So right now, we are again at a stalemate situation. We do not have any conclusive evidence suggesting that the war is going to come towards an end. And also we have been coming across some commentaries from the Israeli officials that they don't really consider this deal as an important one because they don't consider Pakistan as an important broker, important player in the Middle East. And that is why they have refrained from participating in this situation. And as long as Israel is not involved, it is very difficult to see how the peace deal is going to go about. But anyways, if my educated guess is to be there of geopolitics and using the geopolitical experience that I have, I think in the near term, if the situation is not blown out of proportion and if the officials of US, Israel and Iran decide that they are not going to go aggressive into this war, there is a good chance that maybe for a period of 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, we can be having a temporary peace-like scenario prevailing in this region. However, if I am to look at the neighborhood of Iran, seeing the way how they have attacked the neighbors and how they have got a resistance from the neighbors as well, it is very difficult for me to think that Iran is going to totally give up the idea of getting the nuclear weapons or even strengthening their military force in the times to come. So let us see how the negotiations evolve. Let us hope that we have some temporary respite situation, because the way the prices of crude oil is going up, it is going to create complications for the global economy. It is going to create complications for the Indian government as well. So let us hope that we can have a temporary peace-like situation, at least for the near term. But anyways, if we have a look at Nifty 50 and how things have progressed in the past week, in the past few days, we have seen some bullish candles and we have also seen a gap up situation, a 5% recovery, taking care of some of the fall which had happened in the previous year. And this was a very important week for the market. We were all hoping that some respite would happen. And I am especially impressed with the way the things have moved in the metal sector, the way that things have improved in some of the finance space, in the auto space. So let us see, there are some positive signs of recovery, but what I would want you to look at, and I also want to discuss a concept with you, I want to discuss the concept of gaps with respect to momentum. So if you have a look at the structure of Nifty 50, what we have been seeing in the short term, in the near short term, we have been seeing a lower high, lower low situation, a lower high, lower low situation. And when we have a lower high, lower low situation, we can say the trend is a downtrend in the near term. In the short term, we are having a downtrend situation. So whenever we are having a downtrend situation, and in that downtrend, if you come across a sudden gap up situation, the chances are very good that after the gap up, we are going to see a temporary retracement, because the concept says that after a gap up, the movement is going to again revert back in the direction of the previous trend. This is the previous trend which is there in play. We can clearly see lower high and lower low in this situation. So there is a good possibility that the market can go up, sustain over here, again come down, and in the process, it can also fill the gap which has been left by the market over here. The same is applicable for a bullish trend as well. In a bullish trend, whenever you come across a sudden gap down scenario, usually we have seen is that the first movement is going to happen in the direction of the previous trend. In this scenario, we are having a lower high, lower low. So that is why I am anticipating that maybe in the times to come, we may take a little bit of resistance around these areas. Now we already have a little bit of negative news with respect to the US-Iran peace deal. So here we can see a little down move and we can see this entire gap situation getting filled out. So yes, we may have to brace ourselves for one more temporary situation, a temporary retracement on the downside. There's one more aspect of a V-shaped recovery which has played out over here. And this again is a negative sign for me in the market, because if you go and have a look at some of the price action which has played out in the past with respect to some other stocks as well, what you will see is that these V-shaped recoveries are usually unsustainable in nature. And usually what happens is market comes back to again retrace back to these regions. And again, in this region, we may find a base and we can start heading in the higher direction. So that is my view over here. But I would also like you to have a look at some of the price action which has played out in the previous week. And especially I would like to focus on this three white soldiers pattern. You can see these three candles over here, three bullish candles consecutively, which has been formed over a period of time. So this is a situation of three white soldiers. And the conditions that you can see over here are, we should see three consecutive bullish candles. Each candle opens within a range of the previous candle, and each candle closes making a new high. So that is exactly which has played out over here as well. If I go and have a look at the candles which have been playing out, you can see this second candle opened over here, and what happened very importantly is it came down and then recovered and then made a new high. The third candle also, what you can see over here is it opened within the midpoint of the previous candle, it went down a little bit, and again it started to go and make a new high on that particular day. And this is very important because what I would like to show you over here is what exactly played out over here is market went up, came down again. The bears were trying to take control, but the bulls were strong over here. They again took the market in the higher direction. One more time, market came down over here to test the lows over here, and again market recovered and the bulls started to take the market in the higher direction. This is important. It indicates that the bears strength and the bears stranglehold over price has come down and the bulls are starting to take over, and that is why three bullish soldiers are usually considered to be a positive sign in the market. That is what we have got in the market. Now, one thing that I would also like to mention is there is a tendency that sometimes the market can come down to test the midpoint that was created by the three bullish soldiers. So it is possible that as we go for this gap filling situation, we may be coming up here. I would hope that we don't come here. I would hope that we can just fill out this gap over here, take support, and then start heading in the higher direction. But you never know. You never know what the market holds up its sleeves, and we should at times just try to play what the market has to offer, what the market shows, what kind of price action is made, and then only we can make a conclusive judgment of where the market can head in the times to come. So keeping all of these things in mind, what I would be bracing myself is for a small corrective structure to play out over here. Very importantly, what I would be hoping that this low has not been violated, and from here on, if we get some bullish candles over here, some bullish engulfing candles, some hammer candles, that could be one area where I would like to go for my next round of investments in the market. So keeping that in our mind, let us go and have a look at some of the indices as well. This is the chart of Nifty Metal. This is the chart which has played out in the previous year. So here we saw a flag-like situation playing out and then the market heading in a higher high, higher low. What we also saw during the fall is that Nifty Metal was holding quite strong and the recovery of Nifty Metal has happened absolutely brilliantly. So this is where I am assessing that Nifty Metal is the strength pocket. And in the times to come, I would be looking for opportunities in Nifty Metal, because what you can see over here, if you go to a daily time frame, this is a good bullish structure which has played out. If somehow we can get a little bit of retracement over here, I would like to reassess my opportunities. I would like to reassess the stocks which are over here. Definitely, I am going to look for some bullish opportunities in many of the stocks. If you have a look at some of the top stocks which are there in metal, they too have recovered very well. And it is a clear-cut situation of relative strength outperformance for me. So I was hoping, yes, in the fall, I would look to go and add into metals because they have been the leaders in the previous year. They have been the outperformers in the market. Them along with the finance stocks and the banking stocks, they have been leading the market in the past. But right now I can see the strength of metal is quite high, and finance and banks also, I think in the times to come, with a little bit more improvement in price action, we can get some opportunities in finance and banks. But as of now, the opportunity definitely is there in metals. And I would also like to open the chart of CNX Pharma. Here also what we are seeing is a kind of a pole flag structure. What has happened in the previous 2 to 3 months is that Nifty Pharma has been the segment which has been falling the least. In fact, when all the other stocks were falling 15%, 20%, 25%, pharma sector overall only fell 7%. And that was a situation indicating to me that some amount of bullishness could come to the pharma segment in the days to come. However, what we have seen in the past 4 to 5 days, or in fact the past 2 weeks, is that there has been some news of tariffs, and this news of tariff is again making the movement in the pharma segment very, very sluggish. I personally have had to cut some of the pilot positions, but looking at the chart over here, I can see that this chart is not totally bad. If we just get a green color candle like this, one candle closing above the 30 weekly moving average, this should bring some amount of respite to this segment as well. And from here, we can again start going for a round of bullish move in the market. But that is something which is pending. That is something which is yet to come. Now, there is one more situation which can play out. What if we somehow get a resistance at the 30 weekly moving average and then again get a red color candle like this? Now, if we are to recall the words of Mr. Stan Weinstein, and as you know, follow him quite a lot. So in this scenario, he has mentioned that whenever there is going to be a situation where the price continues to sustain below the 30 weekly moving average over an extended period of time, that is a sign of negativity. From there, we can again see one more down move in the market. So in that scenario, if we do get a red color candle, I am going to be little observant over here. I am going to be little alert over here. I will like to position myself again in the metals, again in the banks, again in auto also. Some of the defense stocks as well, they are also looking quite good. You may be having a look at these segments because these look like they are going to lead the market again this year. So keeping all of this in mind, I will not be wasting too much time over here if I do not get the result. I would like to again focus on the segments which are performing in the market. And let us see what the market has to give. Is it going to give a green color candle in the times to come? Or are we going to see a period of sustenance below the 30 weekly moving average? And then again, we are going to make the decision. So let us see what the market has to give. If you see the chart of Nifty 50 as well, what I'm seeing over here is the market is coming to test the 30 weekly moving average. So possibly we can take a little bit of resistance over here and then head back. But these are again opportunities for me. These are the investment levels for me. If you are not doing the investment work over here, you are not going to reap the results when the markets start heading in the higher direction. So I am expecting that in the second half of 2026, post May, June, July, August, I think we are going to see some bullishness coming back in the market, provided the Iran situation is settling down as well. And also I am hoping that 2027 is going to be a very good year. This is going to be the bullish year that I am estimating. But for me to get the results here, I have to do the work over here. I have to do the investments. I have to do the decision making over here. Then only will I be able to reap the reward over here. So that is what I would urge you to do as well. Please monitor the banking stocks, the finance stocks. In the banking stocks, I would say that PSU banking stocks are showing better outperformance compared to the private banks. In the finance stocks also some opportunities are there. In the metal stocks also some opportunities are there. So these are the targeted areas. It's just that I am looking for a better entry point, which is going to give me a better risk to reward. So let us see what the market gives, and let us hope that we are going to have some good opportunities over here. Keep a track of the markets. These are the times to do the homework. Please do not ignore it. I would again urge you to have a look at the stocks, and I would hope that Lady Luck, after giving us a troublesome time in the past 1.5 years, gives some good amount of movement on the upside also in the days to come.